Hi guys, welcome back to our video again. In this video, we got to test ride the new Honda GB350S. I'm not sure whether you can hear that ticking sound from the exhaust pipe. We reached this current location, with a 10 minutes or so ride. So that's the heated pipe, the crackling sound. This is the Honda take of a very retro bike with some modern touch to it. So you can see it's a very circular kind of tank, big fat tires kind of a setup. You will see a very retro tank cap, okay, operated by a key. Dashboard is just speed, no tachometer. With the modern touch to it, you will see a round headlight, LED, fog gutter, a lot of chrome stuff like chrome mirrors, a short fender, and then you see a chrome pieces like this, okay, and then all the chrome, the old school Honda tech, and twin shock. Then for the rear, you will see some modern touch again with the LED tail light and also the signal light and the chrome heat shield, but basically they want to sort of like modernize it with a black pipe. And you will see the air cool fin that is chiseled off with the silver trim. And then your carburetor, sort of like carburetor, is a EFI. So you get very basic equipment like a single disc, ABS. I think this is a 2-port caliper, and then at the rear there's only 1-port caliper, and I guess this is the airbox. And the other side, the left side of it, is actually a key operated battery or electronics compartment. So this is sort of like a cradle frame, and you get your side stand and the main stand, everything very basic. So these are the two little handle where you can hold your cargo net and whatnot, and then you have this helmet lock, okay, where you see on the old school bike. The rear suspension is preload adjustable, and then these are just for you to adjust your chain. Interestingly, it uses a Mezilla Tourer Next. It's a very decent tire. So let us hop onto the bike and see how it feels. Okay, so the bike is pretty tall, higher than an average street bike. Because in order for me to put 2 feet down, I need a little bit of tiptoeing. Unless I sit further forward at the edge of the seat, then I will be able to flat foot. The seat is quite firm. It has this like very retro kind of design here. This is your handle grip. So same thing, is a very retro round mirrors. It's good in terms of styling, but when you talk about visibility, it's not as good as the rectangular one. Very simple dash. So it only has a speedometer, and then it has traction control, hazard light, okay, and then your neutral ABS, and then it has this thing called the eco mode, where it's performing at its best fuel economy. This thing will light up. Check engine light standard, your high beam, low beam. Okay, the controls are quite simple. So there's 2 buttons here that we can click. Okay, it shows you trip A, trip B, current fuel economy, average, and then the range, how much more you can go, and then the current battery voltage, the total odometer. Let us reset trip A and then see what we can do. And then there's this button. What is it for? I think it's for the traction control. So we just keep it on. I doubt we'll use it because it's not a very powerful bike. So we start the bike. Not sure whether you can hear the exhaust note. Is pretty interesting. Very grumpy. But the controls are straightforward: high beam, low beam, horn, etc. This is the kill switch and start, and the hazard light. The button itself are very premium. However, the only setback is that the cover looks a bit, too glossy, too toy-like. And then you have your chrome stuff here. So let us go out for a ride. So it's a very easy bike to ride. So gear 1, okay, the eco mode light up. So we move on to gear 2. Actually, the ride feel between gear 1 and gear 2 is pretty much similar. Not much of a difference. So it's really very easy bike to chill around at a slower pace. So we try to start off with gear 2. Okay, so it have enough
low-end torque to pull you through. Of course, it's not in a very quick manner, but it's still doable. It's that kind of lazy Sunday ride where you just want to ride slow and then look around what's happening, etc. kind of ride view. Okay, it's a very light bike. Okay, so move around, flick it from left to right. And the clutch is very light, so pull in and release. Acceleration. Okay, there's a little delay in acceleration. I mean, it's pretty normal. It's an air-cooled 350cc. I guess the horsepower is between 20 horse, somewhere there. Okay, I noticed that the gear shift is a little bit long. You need to have a bigger movement in order to engage up a gear or down a gear. Okay, the front brake and the rear brake is decent for its power. So I guess when you are on a higher speed, then it might not be the most confident giving kind of braking system. But it does its job when you are cruising at this kind of slow speed, city speed. Under hard braking, the front suspension seems to be a little bit soft. I mean, I guess because of my weight as well, or the rear suspension preload is set a little bit high. I guess it's for passenger, but now we are doing a solo ride. So I guess that can be adjusted, no issue. And let's see whether we can do a lane speed. Okay, it's a very light bike and a very nimble bike. I guess no issue with that. And the steering angle is quite huge, I would say. Okay, gear 3. Okay, gear 3, full throttle. Okay, not bad, not bad. I guess it's pretty fun to twist the throttle a little bit just to enjoy the exhaust note while you're waiting for the traffic. This is the part where I say the acceleration is delayed, so I twist the throttle. Okay, so it didn't give you the instant torque or the instant pickup. It's in eco mode now. So once you twist the throttle, the eco mode is off. That's expected. So this is something you really dare to full throttle it because you know the power delivery comes in a very controlled manner. It will be a fun city bike. So let us enter the highway. Yeah, I just realized the high beam is to flick this switch up to engage the high beam. Okay, we are at gear 3. We see how tall the gear will be. We want we can max out gear 3. So we have full throttle. Okay, gear 4. So I guess there's no issue doing a highway speed on this bike. Gear 5. I think gear 5 is the maximum gear. Yeah. So gear 5 is the tallest gear that it can go. So you have no issue cruising around highway speed or even up to slightly 3 digits. So it's fine with that. And the suspension is a little bit bouncy when it comes to higher speed. And also there's no wind protection. So I don't think you will enjoy much on a higher speed. So you definitely have to drop gear if you want to accelerate. Okay, so once you're cruising at higher speed, you can feel that the vibration from the tank and a little bit on the handlebar. So right now we are entering the sort of like twisty, you can call it. We want to test how well this bike actually, or how flexible this bike is. Doing in gear 3. Okay, on slow speed, it's definitely a very light bike. Yeah, the rear brake is not encouraging, and the front fork is a little bit too soft to squeeze it too hard. You will feel the nose dive, and maybe partially it's because of my weight. Pickup is a little bit slow. I mean, what am I expecting? I mean, this is a lifestyle bike, right? So it's not about performance. It's about getting the vibe and stuff. So we try going up and see how's the uphill. Full throttling this guy in order to squeeze every power of it. Okay, once you brake, I guess it's damn hard to get that power back again. Okay, but when you're riding slow around 20, 30, 40 kind of speed, even 50, it's very comfortable. This bike is very comfortable at that pace. It's designed to go there. It's designed to do that with ease. Anything that is outside that parameter, it still can do it, but you just need to give the GB some time to respond or to react to your demand. Earlier we didn't mention this. This GB350 is actually close or similar to the Highness, which is the CB350 in India. But this is the Japanese pick with a little bit of modern sports cafe kind of style, which is very Honda on their CB range. To me, it's more towards the scrambler look than to a cafe racer or a classic retro kind of bike. Okay, the rear brake is a little bit too weak. Okay, the rear brake is very weak. Okay, you really need to step like really hard in order to get it to stop. And on a single rider downhill, so it might be a little bit more harder once you have a passenger. Okay, on a slower pace, the suspension is really decent, quite comfortable, and the seat is quite firm. Just now on the highway, it's a little bit rough, a little bit bouncy. So now I'm cruising on the third gear, which is a very comfortable pace around 60. Okay, so after maybe 11, 12 kilometers of ride, so the heat is actually bearable. I mean, to minimal. It's an air cool, and you don't feel any heat in between your legs. But if you put your hand close enough like this, you'll feel some warm air, which is very decent. I mean, you can ride it a whole day. I guess that will be something where you can ride with shorts and you still enjoy it. So engage this at gear 2, and then we will try to climb this. Just now we tried gear 3. We don't have a tachometer here to see the RPM. Whoa, it's a little bit slippery here. I think it does best at gear 2 if you want that acceleration and stuff. I think gear 2 is the way to go. Let's do a U-turn. It shouldn't be too hard because the steering angle is crazy. It's good. Yep. So going downhill, I am not going to accelerate because the brake is not that great. So we just let it roll downhill with gear 3 and some light tap on the rear brakes. Yeah, I'm stepping really hard, but it's not decreasing in speed. So same thing, I am squeezing it with the best of my ability. So I guess on this bike, you still need to use both brakes if you need to really get it to slow down or stop. Okay, let's try making a U-turn. It shouldn't be too tough because the bike is pretty nimble, light, and the steering angle is also very decent. So slow speed within a lane, no issue. This is definitely not for someone that is looking for performance or any sorts of. This is a very clear kind of lifestyle bike. Someone who enjoy riding at a very comfortable pace, a non-stressful pace, you know, going around from town to town or within the city in a very carefree manner. So this is what this GB350 Air Cool is all about. It's a really nice looking bike. The tone and the exhaust note is also very pleasant, at least to me, because it's a tumbler, so it sounds like a tracker. I guess it is clearly a very collector kind of bike, okay, or styling statement, you can call it. But it's still pretty decent as a daily transport kind of thing. But once you start to accessorize it with like a top box rack and stuff, it looks a bit funny, right? Okay. Okay, we are in town now. It requires a lot of work of changing gear between 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, or you can generally keep it at 2 and just knock it through. Of course, you don't get that kind of acceleration. I guess mainly the gear 4 and 5 is mainly for fuel economic. I'm not too sure the gear ratio, but I felt that it's pretty close. Okay, so we are clocking at about 34 kilometers per liter. Okay, the riding posture is slightly sporty because I feel that you need to bend forward a little bit in order to reach out to the handlebar, and probably because I got shorter arms. So it's really, really easy to ride on a slower pace kind of traffic or a congested traffic. Okay, so now the fuel economy is about 34, and the range is about 4. The range stated here is 425, and it's 1 bar away from full. So I guess the tank is pretty huge. I guess that's quite good for folks who like to do petrol run, or for whatever reason you always don't like to visit the petrol kiosk that much. So this is good for you. I would say that the GB350 is a really clear-cut kind of lifestyle bike. It's not attracting the performance kind of rider. It's more like the look, the vibe, you know. You want a lazy Sunday ride, or you want something like a tracker, slowly chuck through the traffic and stuff, you know, get you from point A to point B with that kind of style and vibe. Yeah, I guess this is the right bike for you. Other than the looks and the vibe, I don't see any other appeal in getting this GB350. Hi guys, that's all for this test ride for the GB350S. And thank you for watching this video. Hope to see you on the next one. Bye bye.